Welcome gamers to Nintendo TV's 25th review, Super Mario 64. This is the plumber's first leap into the world of 3D gaming and one of his most popular games ever. But enough of this, let's get into the main review and see just how incredible this game really is. Super Mario is invited to the Mushroom Kingdom castle by Princess Peach, who has kindly baked a cake for him. Mario rushes to the castle, eager to see the princess, when, oh crap, she's been kidnapped by Bowser, the leader of the Koopas. Now Mario must collect the magical power stars throughout the Mushroom Kingdom to restore the castle, save the princess and defeat Bowser. Super Mario 64 greatly changed the style of gameplay for Mario games, because instead of travelling along a preset route, stomping Goombas and collecting coins, like you did before, you now explore giant 3D landscapes, and whilst a fair share of Goomba stomping and coin collecting is incorporated, your main focus is to clear a certain mission in order to collect a power star and proceed to further missions and access more levels. The main hub world of the game is Peach's Castle, which contains all 15 of the game's worlds, which you enter through the castle paintings. Each world has different missions, each of which will earn you a star, and there are a total of 120 to collect in the game. Missions may vary to defeating a boss, collecting red coins, or simply solving a puzzle. Some of the stars are also hidden inside the castle itself and need to be acquired there, and when enough stars are found, you can eventually go and battle Bowser. The game also has some cool power-ups which Mario can equip, like the invisible cap, which turns Mario transparent and enables him to walk through things, the wing cap, which allows Mario to fly for a period of time, and finally the metal cap, which turns Mario's body into metal, making him invulnerable to attacks and allowing him to walk underwater. Okay, now before I move on, let's mention a few negative parts. To start off, the missions can become a bit tedious. No hints are given to help you know what you need to do in the mission, and sure, after a bit of exploring you can eventually find out your task, but the title of the mission doesn't really help much. It's not a major fault, but it would have been nice to have a hint system or something along those lines. Also, the game's a bit easy. You can complete it with about 60 stars, and most of the missions, when you find out what to do, are very easy. The bosses are also a cakewalk, but still fun to fight. Anyways, that concludes my ranting, so moving on to graphics. For Nintendo 64 standards, Super Mario 64 boasts some impressive visuals. The levels are well designed and have the classic Mario charm attached to them, and overall the many effects used, like the water, snow and fire, are just incredible and add to the atmosphere of the stage. The models of the characters are very good, although Bowser does look a bit chubby, but for the most part they're really good. There are many wacky designs for each of the levels, like the inside of a clock, and what makes this level even more stunning is that every second you play it, everything is moving, including clockwork, stage blocks and other parts of the level. Other cool stage designs include a beautiful level that consists of a massive body of water, which is great for exploring, an incredible snow world with great snow effects, and the sky level, Rainbow Ride, which shows an impressive sky backdrop coupled with a crazy yet fun design. Sure, if you play Super Mario Galaxy or something, and then this, you're gonna feel a bit sick, but still, this game is old, and for its time, these visuals were stunning and very impressive, and Nintendo did a fantastic job with them in my opinion. The music in Super Mario 64 is top notch and really catchy, and perfectly suitable for the wacky environments in the game. It ranges from fast paced and crazy, calm and peaceful. And overall the music is fantastic, really. The sound effects are good, but there's really nothing special going on sound effect wise. But the sound effects are added in well and accurately too. Anyways, moving on to voice acting. Well, there's basically none. But after all, this is the Nintendo 64, so voice work was sort of in its primitive stages. Mario himself simply yells and shouts as he jumps and punches, and there's some minor voice acting at the start of the game. But for the most part, voice acting is non-existent, but that doesn't really matter much, as this isn't a very cinematic kind of game. So overall, the music is excellent and very suitable for a Mario game, the sound effects are good, and the voice acting is decent enough I guess, even though there's hardly any of it. Anyways, that concludes my thoughts on sound. The controls for Mario 64 are pretty much perfect and take hardly any time to get used to, and because of this, they make the game even more enjoyable. Now, as I'm playing the game through the virtual console, I will explain the classic controller controls. Moving Mario is done with the left analog stick and the right one controls the camera angles. The A button is used to jump, triple jump and do a side flip depending on the button combinations you use. And the B button can be used to either dive, pick up things or punch and kick, which will help you defeat the enemies. The L button makes Mario duck down and can be used in conjunction with the A button in different ways to perform moves like the long jump, the backflip and the ground pound. The R button is used to fix the camera behind Mario, which may help with some narrow platforms in some of the stages. For the most part, the controls are flawless, but the analog controller Mario does feel a bit stiff sometimes, and the camera controls are a bit clunky and annoying in some areas. But other than that, the controls are perfect and have virtually no learning curve, making the game easy to pick up and play and enjoy. Overall, Super Mario 64 is a huge success for the Tubby Plumber and an overall outstanding game, and there is virtually no part in this game where you will not experience any enjoyment. The levels are so fun to play and look amazing design wise, and even though the main quest can be finished with only 60 stars, getting all 120 of them is a big challenge itself that every skilled gamer will want to take on. Mario controls like a dream, and despite some fiddly movement and a very irritating camera, the controls are tight and responsive, and you can easily pick up and play this game without any learning involved. So in conclusion, if you have a Wii, download this game for just 1000 points, as it's worth every penny and point you spend. And if you have a DS, I also recommend picking up the DS Remake, which came out in 2005, as it has some new features and more playable characters, and 30 extra stars to collect. However, be sure to get the original too, as it's an instant Nintendo classic and an unforgettable game overall.